Notably, a few guys I'm actually friends with in their 20s who were literally just on a light, like super physiological dosage, but still like a relative terms light testosterone cycle, and diagnosed with stage 3 chronic kidney disease because of What's up guys, Derek, moreplates.com. Today I wanted to go back to the glomerular filtration rate discussion. So this is something I've touched on a handful of times in the past about how when you are getting your blood work done, your metabolic parameters most notably, and you get your estimated glomerular filtration rate, the eGFR, this is what a lot of people use as a proxy for their kidney function, especially bodybuilders. So this metric is calculated using creatinine on your metabolic panel. However, something that a lot of people don't realize is how inaccurate calculating the eGFR using the creatinine really is, especially for bodybuilders. So I brought up this study before. I think the video was reacting to Fouad and Ian talking about what health protocols to do, or like health, like what lab tests to get and stuff like that. So I checked that out. I'll put that up in the corner up here, and in there I kind of do a deep dive into it, but I wanted to do a quick overview again and then some examples of why, like, it actual playing out in real life, that it is not accurate enough. So notably, a few guys I'm actually friends with in their 20s who were literally just on a light, like super physiological dosage, but still like a relative terms light testosterone cycle, and diagnosed with stage 3 chronic kidney disease because of their low eGFRs. And the family doctors freak out and then assume that they're basically going to be on dialysis soon. I'm not saying that shouldn't be taken lightly, but ideally you want to get a cystatin C calculated GFR off the bat, so then you don't have to deal with potential freaking out and thinking you're about to die. Because these doctors are thinking like, holy shit, you're like about to literally like be on dialysis when they see some of these results. So anyways, I'll show you the examples after. I have a few that have been commented on my channel and emailed to me, but this is the study that I refer to often as far as just the difference in how accurate this really is. So clinical benefits using inulin clearance and cystatin C for determining GFR and HIV infected individuals treated with this. So basically, normally by default, lab tests will use the creatinine inside of the blood work in order to calculate the eGFR. You already know that by default. What they wanted to see here is how accurate it actually is. So we investigated the usefulness of GFR measured using inulin clearance, creatinine clearance, and estimated GFR based on both serum creatinine and serum cystatin C. So these are the two things that are mainly relevant to us based on serum levels. So what they found were no differences in serum cystatin C and eGFR calculated using cystatin C between baseline and at 48 weeks. Moreover, eGFR calculated using creatinine was significantly less accurate, within 30% of measured GFR, than both eGFR using cystatin C and calculating it based on creatinine clearance. So that was 40% accuracy of using the default that most people are getting in their blood work accuracy, compared to 93% and 93% for eGFR calculated using cystatin C and using creatinine clearance. So eGFR based on cystatin C was significantly less biased than eGFR based on creatinine and creatinine clearance. No significant difference between inulin clearance and eGFR based on cystatin C was observed. So this is the main thing that is notable, is that eGFR based on cystatin C was significantly correlated with inulin clearance, which is otherwise the gold standard for figuring out GFR. So the conclusion here is that the eGFR using serum cystatin C provides the most precise estimate and most closely approximate inulin clearance in this infected population that they are testing on here. So basically what you need is, when you are getting your blood work, you want to also get a cystatin C tacked on and get your GFR calculated, your eGFR calculated based on that serum number, as opposed to based on your serum creatinine, because the serum creatinine is wildly inaccurate and can, as you saw, 40% accuracy. Like, does that sound like a good ballpark when it's literally one of the most important organs in your body? Like, no, obviously not. Not that you can really place a priority on organs, but it's like kidneys, it's not like they have the ability to really like recover function significantly compared to something like your liver or something like that. So yeah, like you want to get accurate representation of what's going on. I'm not saying ignore a elevated serum creatinine whatsoever. I'm just saying be aware that it's like a very, very wide array of like where it can land in terms of your eGFR based on that. And it may not even be close to what your eGFR should actually be. So I want to bring up a few examples of this. One is an email I got from Brian literally a couple days ago. He said, many thanks for the information to go and get a cystatin C with eGFR that you mentioned in a video. The one based on creatinine was 59 for him. Moderate kidney failure. The cystatin C with eGFR is 112, normal. Thank you very much for the information you provide. So that's good to see, obviously. This is one that was on that video I did where I introduced this, I think I showed this study for the first time. So this was a couple months ago. Darren Venn, great advice on creatinine clearance, Derek. My doc had me going in circles with worry about my creatinine test until he took into account my level of athletic activity and switched to cystatin C and found out I was totally fine. For those of us with high athletic activity, cystatin C is a better test. Both these tests are checking if your kidneys are filtering properly, not for these substances themselves. Then another guy, Nick Stone. I am really glad you mentioned cystatin C. At 20, I was diagnosed by 2 doctors with stage 3 chronic kidney disease. Later, I brought it to my doctor's attention that I wanted a cystatin C test done, and he had never even heard of it, which is brutal. The fact that most doctors have not heard of this, and this is like, should be gold standard practice, is absurd to me. But that's just how it is. My GFR on previous tests showed 60s, and on cystatin C, it showed 120s. So again, like these are just a few examples of many in real life that if individuals knew how to check it properly, they would potentially avoid some scares maybe, and potentially avoid getting diagnosed with something they don't even have. So this is just a word to the wise, or whatever the saying is, just a little tidbit of information I thought would be useful, especially for guys who are checking their blood work regularly, and especially hormone abusing athletes. Individuals who are checking their metabolic parameters, I would highly advise using a gold standard reference as opposed to something that is literally 40% accuracy compared to the gold standard reference. So that, take from that what you will. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplates.com. Follow me on Instagram at moreplates_more_dates, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to get sent my deep dives into bodybuilding, pharmacology, endocrinology whenever I publish them. I don't publish articles very often, but when I do, the only people who know about them are the guys on the mailing list. It's the first link in the description below. And I also send like private sales and discounts and stuff like that through there sometimes. Sometimes we'll do Gorilla Mind launches through that email list, like privately, before it's even launched to the public. So a lot of incentive to sign up for that. And if you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below too. My TRT clinic, my recommended lab test panels that design myself, Gorilla Mind itself, the nootropics, my pre-workout formulas that design myself from scratch, all the other products I formulate for Gorilla Mind, and anything else I am associated with, it's all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.